Alright, so Google had their I/O day today in 2023, May 10th, and they had a lot of interesting things with AI and also new products. So in today's video, I'll go over what you should get on the wait list for, any products that you might want to order, because they had a couple new things that you can pre-order today, and just my general thoughts on how it can help you generate your business for your side hustle and how it can help you in your productivity. So we all know that everyone is trying to get into the race for AI. OpenAI has ChatGPT, Microsoft just announced Bing, and of course Google now is announcing their suite of AI products, and Bard, like their equivalent to ChatGPT. Now they today are allowing anyone who tries to get access to Bard onto the wait list access to Bard. So this is Bard, and you just enter a prompt here, and Bard has access to the internet. It runs off of their large language model, which is not trained like ChatGPT or Bing or GPT-4. It's a completely different model that uses their proprietary training software. Now, from what I understand, the way that I've been using it, it's a little harder to program. I tried feeding it prompts to give a better interaction, like how I would normally do with shot testing. It doesn't seem to like that. It tries to give me an answer versus trying to work with me. So I'm not sure if that's a feature, because it seems like Google is more interested in providing a zero-shot response, meaning that it doesn't want you to try to work with it. It just wants to give you the answers, which is very good from a customer search-based, feature, rather than how we are now debugging and trying to create these mega prompts or step-by-step prompts to get customized user data or user output for making blog posts or content, or business-specific niche content. Google Bard anyway is more generalistic. So if I type in a specific search that I want, Google will give me a generalistic approach of the results. And I'm gonna give you an example here. The best steak dinner in... And Bard will look and tell me where the best steak in Texas is, and then you can also Google it and give it some responses. Now Bard is currently in training. As you can see here, it's experiment. For their AI suite, they have actually 4 different models. They have a small model up to large model. Their smallest model is going to be available offline and in devices. They have different animals that they are calling them. I believe it goes from gecko to unicorn, from their smallest to the largest. And they also have more specific models called Med Palm and Security Palm. And Palm, P-A-L-M, is their language model like GPT, or that's what they're naming their kind of AI text generation. Now, in addition to text generation like ChatGPT and GPT-4, they also are making more, as you can see here, graphics, like all the AI image generation and editing tools. They are also implementing these AI generation, image generation and editing tools all within Google Photos. So they will explain here, they'll show that you can expand on the photo, you can magic erase your things out. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting is how they're integrating it into something that OpenAI and Microsoft can't, is they're integrating it into their hardware, which is something I'll get into a little bit more into the video on the new hardware features that they're integrating it into. For AI, they have not only this, but they're also integrating more of their artificial intelligence into their docs, sheets, email. So as I said before, you can go to the Try Bard site here, and then you can register to try. Also, all the other waitlist items are here in Labs with Google. The first one would be how to use Labs in Workspace. That's like generating email. They give you the timeline, as remember before how it give you like a canned response when they ask you a question about, hey, did you miss your flight? And then it gave you like 3 responses. No, I made it. Yes, I missed my flight, or I'll meet you someplace. And you can just click on that response and Gmail will automatically send like a one line, maybe 5-word response. And now there's like autocomplete, where in Gmail, it'll guess what you're saying next. Now there's auto-compose, where it'll compose an entire email without you having too much to say in it. And that's what one of the new tools that there is. And of course, there's also new Google search, very similar to how Bing works, where you type in something and it will show up your standard, right, Google shopping experience. They made it very clear that they are integrating ads. So within the search experience, there is links to vendors and merchants, because many times when people are searching for things on Google, they have the intent to buy. So they are not removing that from the platform. They're keeping that very integrated, because that is a very seamless, I guess you call it, part of the search experience. So they're leaving that in. It was one of their clever ways to let everyone know that those paid advertisements aren't going anywhere. It's good to know, because in ChatGPT and in a lot of these, when you don't have the merchant link, you're like, where am I going to buy this stuff? So having that direct link there to the merchant website, or being able to purchase it from the shopping Google website or Google page, is probably a good thing. So that's one of the things you can do. These are all the places where you would have to sign up. So the waitlist here, join the waitlist here. Project Tailwind is that project where you have a notebook where you can actually go side by side and start making, I guess you could call it like a study, where you have notes. You can have the notes be summarized, like how I would use ChatGPT. If you saw the video about how the ways you can use ChatGPT to learn, where you can have it as a study session and you can reference the study session. This is just one of the ways that you can use it for studying if you're a student, or if you're studying for something, you can organize your notes that way. Or if you're writing a paper, you can organize your notes that way. They also have Music LM, which is very similar to many of the text to music tools out there. And it's going to be hopefully for now, free one. You can join the waitlist for that as well. So those are the waitlist AI things. So what about the product things? So in addition to having AI be built in and the product enhancements with Google Maps, Google Photos, they're going to have two new products, and hopefully I get the right click here. There we go. So Pixel 7a, $499. That's like not their Pro or regular version. That's like their cheaper version. It's actually really good. I looked at the specs when you compare it to the 7 and the 7 Pro. It's very good if you're on a budget. You really lose out on the 7 Pro with the RAM. Instead of 12 gigs of RAM, it's 8 gigs of RAM, same as the 7. And also you lose out on that third camera. From I guess you could call it essentialist standpoint, the 7a is probably going to be your best bet, especially since it comes with free earphones, the first edition earbuds, which is like a $99 deal. That's a pretty good deal. And they also have the Pixel Fold, which is actually pretty dang amazing. They did some tests on it. It opens up to about 7.3 inches and it has the ability to be on both sides. So they did this cool example where you're talking on one side of the screen, someone speaks another language on the other end of the screen or the other side of the fold, and it comes out speaking their language and you're talking to them like this. So it's like a quick translator, right? So I was like, that's pretty cool. But the price though, as maybe you saw here, starts at $1,800. They do give you the Pixel Watch for free. So I guess makes up a little bit. If you're a high spender for new tech, it might be a good deal. $1,800 is quite high for the lowest memory model. Oh, and the Pixel tablet. So the Pixel tablet is also coming out, and that one starts at $499. That's a really cool thing if you're in the market for tablets, because it has a kind of case that's included with its own docking station and stand, and of course all the apps in it, and it doubles as a picture frame, syncs up to Google Home if you have a smart home, and kind of makes that transition from, okay, what am I supposed to do with my tablet if I don't use it very often, to something that is useful, that I can use all the time, and doubles as a tablet. So that's how they were positioning it in their talk today. Those are the main things. From how am I going to use this in my business standpoint, and was it really worth like the 3 hours that it was almost? I would say no, not really. I listen to these things because I'm really interested in how the use case of AI is, and a lot of the API, or I guess developer tools that can be found here. And most likely Google is behind. So what they're trying to catch up in is very smart. They're having very clever ways to implement their technology into hardware that they have. So similar like how Apple really is far behind in the AI game, and they just have their Quartz Health watch that has AI technology as their kind of competition into the AI marketplace. Google has more than that, but they're also using their phone, Pixel, their tablets, their new Pixel Fold as their, I don't want to call it a distraction, but as their competitive edge to say, hey, we've got this. Yeah, we do AI. Everyone's doing AI now. AI is going to be the standard. We are going to approach AI our way, implementing into corporate, right, more institutional level use case with the cloud, with MedPalm and Security Palm. We're going to approach this by having us start off at a very, they call it safe and bold stance on AI. We're going to have responsible AI use. We're not going to use or train any data, anything on private data or on user data that's not properly appropriated. So they're taking a more conservative stance and trying to get corporations to be on board and pay for big services like Google Cloud and data analytics. So while they did come out with that paper, and I'm going to say this and we're going to close up, of how no one has a moat, that is not true. Google and Microsoft have a huge moat. It's called brand. If I am a huge hospital system and I want the best security, I want the best customer service, and I want somebody to take the fall for my organization if my AI software goes amok, I'm gonna call Microsoft or Google to manage that for me. I'm not gonna call some startup company that has 11 people who, if I sue, will be worth nothing, right? I'm gonna call Google or Microsoft and use their maybe 2 generation below, right, AI product. Who cares if it's not the Mid-Journey version 5? I know that their product is not only safe, but it follows all the legal guidelines because Google doesn't want to get sued. Microsoft doesn't want to get sued. They're going to do everything that they can to prevent themselves from getting sued. So my company doesn't get sued. So therefore, they will rake in the big bucks from the corporations that have always been around. So that's their competitive advantage. So that's where I see a lot of the AI moving. It's not going to be too much of a disruptor. It's just going to be more of, hey, this is like the next step, and all these big corporations are going to have their kind of flavor to it. Like when the smartphones came out, these little corporations are going to have their smartphones. Now every corporation, Samsung, right, they got their smartphones. Google has their smartphones. Apple has their smartphones. Sony, everyone has their smartphones. It's going to be like that. Everyone's going to have their AI. And whoever has the biggest corporate branding, they're going to get all the big corporate contracts. And that's going to be the moat. It's not going to change. But if you want to keep update with what's going on in AI, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.